Everybody, we're about to get started. Carteret is a community on the move. We're growing, and with growth comes important decisions. Tonight is your chance to hear directly from the people who want to help guide that growth. I'm Erin Knight. I'm the president for the Carteret County Chamber. Welcome. I wasn't sure if we were going to have a full room, but I'm so glad to see that we need to pull out extra chairs. We have our youngest voter over here. So just thank you everybody for being here. This is one of 7 candidate forums that we're putting on across Carteret County. The Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the League of Women Voters, both nonprofit, nonpartisan organizations, to put together just a non-biased opportunity for voters to hear from their candidates. After tonight, if you guys want to go back and revisit, it is being filmed. Taylor McCune, Marketing Programs Director for the Chamber, is over here videotaping it. It will be posted on the Carteret County Chamber's YouTube page, so you guys can go in and do a search for that to be able to see it afterwards. But without further ado, of course, I want to introduce to you Carol Gear. She is the president for League of Women Voters, our partnership organization, and she's going to let you guys know what to expect tonight and how this is going to run and operate. So, Carol.
Thank you. We're excited to have a packed house. Thank you all for coming, and just welcome to all the candidates, and thank you all for being here. Just a reminder for everybody, this is like a forum, not a debate. We don't allow questions, directly from the audience. I'll let you know how that works in a minute. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes introduction, and then we'll alternate through questions in the order of which we ask candidates, and then each will be given a 2-minute summation closing. Please note the questions have been submitted in advance, the majority of them. Now, if you have a question, raise your hand, and Lucy and Andrea right there have index cards and a pen. You could write your question down and just raise your hand when you're done, and they'll come by and pick it up. Okay, it's easy. Also, I'd like to welcome Leela Goodwin as our timer and introduce Leela. She'll let you guys know how it's going to work.
Thank you, Carol. First of all, thanks candidates for being here. Thank you all for being here as well. We understand that everybody's time is valuable, and so the goal in timing is fairness to each candidate so that you all get the same amount of time to respond to questions, and in fairness to the audience so that we can hopefully get through all of the questions and you can hear some good answers. Your timing intervals, as Carol mentioned, 2 minutes in the beginning, 2 minutes in the end. For each question, 1 minute. I have paddles that I will hold up, so I have 60 seconds, 30 seconds, stop. Now, everyone is here to hear your thoughts. So when I hold up the stop, there's also going to be a little sound that will come from my phone. But please complete your thought, as opposed to just literally stopping in the middle of a sentence. Because everyone is here to hear what you have to say. And just try to minimize how far you go beyond the red stop sign. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, everyone, early voting begins next week, Thursday, October 16th. The 3 locations will be open. I know Western Park, Fort Benjamin, and then the other location at the Board of Elections. You can vote at any one of these early voting locations. But just remember, early voting closes Saturday, November 1st. They're open 8 to 3. But election day is November 4th. If you wait till then, go to your precinct. Don't go to one of the early voting locations. Go to your precinct, okay? Also, vote401.org. There's a recording that will be posted of this forum on the chamber website as well as the league website. But vote401.org is a great resource as well online. It's an online voting guide, and I want to thank all the candidates. Every one of you have responded, and their profiles are up on vote401.org, so you can find out more about them as well. And now I'll introduce our moderator, Perry Harper. Many of you know Perry is Vice President of Corporate and Community Education at Carteret Community College, where he's worked there for 34 years. He was on our county Board of Education for 8 years, where he served as chair for 3 years. He was named a member of the NC IDEA Foundation's North Carolina Black Entrepreneurship Statewide Council in 2020. He also serves as chair of the Carteret County Public School Foundation and as a commissioner on the Beaufort Housing Authority. So let's give a warm welcome to Perry.
Good evening, candidates. How are you doing tonight? I'd like to begin by introducing each of you, and you will note that on your ballot, these are the 5 candidates running for 3 seats. So you will vote for 3 of these candidates. I'm going to introduce the candidates in alphabetical order. Each candidate will have 2 minutes for their opening remarks. Please include 3 issues you would address if and when elected. So let's get started. J, Bayou, right? Close. B. J, let's start with you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here today. I know it's a little bit out of time that you have to take and come here and listen to us talking, and so you can make up your mind. So a little bit about myself. I am a prior Army. I don't hold it against me. I know there's a lot of memories around here. I live in Star Hill with my family. You can see that the headquarters out here. About right now? Yeah, I live in Star Hill community with my family, and you could see the youngest voter out there. We've been here for a while, and been around the world a lot, traveled a lot, and when we came across this community, we were charmed, and we fell in love with it, and we decided to set up root here. A little bit about my background. Like I said, I'm a prior Army, but I also have a master's degree in international law and human rights. In a past life in galaxy, far, far away, I was a human rights lawyer and helping people overseas and everything. Out here, I'm a disabled veteran currently, and I'm helping the community. I volunteer at a food pantry in Moorhead, and I'm trying to help around the community. So the 3 issues that I'm trying to put together, first one is connectivity. I see a lot of you walking around the neighborhood with your dogs and with your kids, and for me it's important that you are able to do that safely. And also for my kids, that's one of the reasons we chose this community, because we feel like we can walk around and enjoy our neighbors and walk our dogs without, risk of getting hit by a vehicle or something. The second issue is trying to lower taxes, and one of the ways we can do that is by safe and sound investment, responsible one that can bring money without causing raising taxes. I'll talk furthermore and with question. I'm going to leave. My time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. Roy Fish.
Yep, I'd like to speak without the mic. I think I can do better without the mic. I was a Marine for 20 years. Spent a lot of time in Jacksonville. I met my wife when I was in 7th grade. We got married right out of high school. We've been married for 28 years. But, a lot like Jay, I've been all over this world, and when I retired, she's an Onslow County school teacher. We did want to go back to our hometown. We definitely did want to stay in Jacksonville. We found Cape Carteret. We both fell in love with this place, and after moving around my whole life, I said to her, we're going to die here. So I have a lot of heart for this community. We've been living here now almost 10 years. I have a daughter who's 16 and is in high school right now, so pray for me on that one. But I have a heart for service, and I served my country, and now I want to serve my local community. I want to serve my town. I want to serve you guys. And I feel like I can't complain about what's going on if I'm not involved. So here I am involved. I want to be involved for my sake and for your sake. The three main issues that I want to attack while I'm here is, one, storm preparedness, because that's a huge deal for us. A sustainable growth plan in this, we are being inundated with people from everywhere in the world finding this amazing place like we have. So sustainable growth is important, and most important is water access for every single citizen in Cape Carteret, not just people who live on the water.
Thank you. Steve Martin.
Good evening. I'm gonna have to read from my notes. Unlike these younger guys here. Community engagement in the political process is encouraging, so I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. And I'm a native of North Carolina, and I discovered Cape Carteret after I enlisted in the Marine Corps at the age of 18 years old, and public service and a desire to be a part of something bigger than any one individual and making a difference is what truly motivates me for this campaign. I've been fortunate enough to serve as one of your town commissioners since 2017, for those that don't know me. I'm the only candidate, I think, with a proven record of service here today. The Board of Commissioners has worked tirelessly to maximize the quality of service at the lowest cost possible. This last budget season, as the property evaluation the county conducted took effect, I'm proud to say that this town, Cape Carteret, and the commissioners adopted a budget with a revenue neutral tax rate, while many municipalities in the county, and including the county, raised your taxes. A vote for me is a vote for fiscal responsibility. I enjoy serving the community. I do my best to be accessible to the citizens and address any of their issues or concerns in which the town has the authority to mitigate. I look forward to the opportunity to discuss town issues tonight and earn your continued confidence in my knowledge of the town decision making that always been shaped by public input, because as a commissioner I work for you, and it's been a privilege, and I want to thank you. My three issues are traffic, stormwater, and the town center concept that the Board of Commissioners adopted to see if we can motivate the property owners and get those hooked up with the investors. Thank you.
Thank you. David Monroe.
First of all, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for enabling this discussion. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out and giving us your time. A little bit about my background. I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old, and I went to Harris Island and embarked on a 34-year career around the Corps. I also was a Department of State supervisory special agent when I retired in 2021. So what does all that mean? It means that I have seen a great deal of the world, and I've been in about 75 different countries. A lot of that's repeat business. And I can tell you that this place here is one of the best places that I've ever seen around the globe. I intend on dying here with Mr. Fish. So, my top three things I think that I want to bring to the government here of Carteret is water access. I mean, that people have access to the water, to include the parks, our 8 parks and our boat ramps, and to make sure that those are the best that they can be. I want to keep taxes low. And the third thing that I would like to do is preserve Cape Carteret. 1999 to 2001, my wife and I lived in Loudoun County, Virginia, so I've seen what unchecked growth brings, and that's not good. Last reason why am I running really, I had the opportunity to speak to retired Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Conway, and he said, when you retire, do 3 things. And honestly, it's the best advice I ever had. He said, take care of your wife, find something you love, and give back. So this is my opportunity to give back. I've never had that opportunity before. Thank you.
Thank you. Eric, Tanya?
All right. I'm Eric Catania. I'm from here. Both myself and my wife, we raised our family here. This is our home, bottom line. This is my home. This is where we're going to live forever. This is where our kids are growing up. This is my community. This is our community. And that's why I'm running. I'm running to preserve that. I'm running to preserve us checking on our friends and family if we don't see them for 2 months. I'm running to be the community that we are right now and we're going to preserve. So with that, I bring, I'm a Coast Guard veteran. I served actually at Emerald Isle, Coast Guard Station Emerald Isle. I worked with local law enforcement in search and rescue cases and some other law enforcement activities. So I bring that knowledge of working with different municipalities and their enforcements. I currently do logistics for the C-130 aircraft. So I've done that now for about 8 years. So I know the ins and outs of bureaucracy. The 3 things that I see in the community that really need to be addressed is like everybody said, is the growth, but we need smart growth. It's growing, it's already here. Rezoning, it's huge, big item ticket. I've been reviewing the UDO. I think that there's some growth there that we can do, that we can update the UDO to, the Unified Development Ordinance, so we can implement different things in there so we can give the voice to the community rather than just sit here on a board meeting and they shout and they scream, but the planning board doesn't have anything official to look at, right? With that, quality of life as well. So we need more parks, we need walking spaces, we need spaces for our young families and our retirees to enjoy and have water access and bring some more festivals and some more fun things for community to do together to bring us as a family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank to all of the candidates for great opening statements, and thank you all for your service to our country. We're going to now transition to submitted questions from the citizens of Cape Carteret, and as a disclaimer, I will at some point be alternating. We won't go in any particular order, but we will. Jay, we're going to start with you. Tell us how you are involved in the community currently, and is there anything you have been considering getting involved in?
Thank you for the question. Any of you see me around, I have a young kid. I have 3 daughters, and the youngest 8, and you probably see me walking around with either tutus or something in my hair because I'm helping with Girl Scout. And I'm also involved in, one other thing I like the most is, like I said, is food safety and food security. My my wife works in public health, and like I said, I have worked with human rights, and we look into the demographic and we see, okay, who are the residents who lives here and what do they need? How can I help them? And so I started volunteering at the food pantry, like I said earlier. But I also get involved in the community. Like for Halloween, if you come to Star Hill, you will see like a huge display on my back, on my front yard for those of you who knows me. And I'm hoping to bring the community together with events like this so that way we can know each other and connect with each other more. Thank you.
Thank you. Roy?
First of all, if you guys have been over to where the new boat ramp is, or have been to the parks at the end of the Anita Ford, a couple different roads here, we have those kayak storage places now. Myself and Mike King actually built those. I own a carpentry construction company, and so I use my tools, my resources to get that done because Mike King asked me to do it for the town, and so we did it for the town at no charge to the town. Because I felt like that was an important thing, and every time I ride by them, I see it full of kayaks, so I'm glad that the town is using them. And the other way I'm involved in the community is I use my business to support my ministry. So if you see my trucks riding around, my company is Triple H Carpentry, but I use the business to sustain the ministry that I do for combat veterans and veterans, all kinds of veterans that need it, to come in, learn a trade, surround themselves with guys who understand what they're going through, and try to walk them into a relationship with Christ.
Thank you. Steve?
Well, being a commissioner since 2017 has been my contribution to community service, and I take it very seriously. The current town manager, previous town manager, could all tell you that it's not a day goes by that I'm not in contact with them and trying to figure out a better way for things, enhancing things in town and proposing ideas. So that's kept me busy since 2017, and I have not had time to think about anything else other than that.
Thank you. David?
Yeah, so since I retired in 2021, I have done a few different volunteer things. I've helped with the Maritime Museum in Beaufort. I would just man the desk there one with Bayshore. There's an old saying in the Marine Corps that you never give money back. Never. So it was quite a bit. Quite a bit of money, and I think that the town could have come up with some different courses of action to not give the money back and use it.
Thank you. Eric?
Thank you, that's a good question. The biggest one that I think I can solve as well is back to the UDO. This is how the town runs, right? We have to have this document needs to be where anybody can pick it up and understand what it says. And that thing, if you haven't looked at it, the town does a great job and they have everything on their website. I recommend everybody out there in TV land, everybody in here, get the UDO and look at it. And for rezoning, if everybody's out there, rezoning, if we put in a community impact statement in there that will go into where the planning board can put that in part of their package, I mean, I think it would give some teeth to if you do not want property rezoned.
Thank you. Jake?
As a disabled veteran, mental health is very important to me, and family is also important to me, and which is one of the first things I mentioned. Like one of the issues I'm interested in pursuing is connecting our neighborhoods, and I'm sure a lot of you in the attendance right here, and online, walk around your neighborhoods, you walk your dog, or you go for a run, and old military people like us try to stay fit and pretend that we're still young, running around. For me, it's important that we can do this safely, and I don't want to drive my car all the time. I want to be able to walk, to go hang out with my neighbors, check on them. Because staying inside the house too long for people with PTSD, the walls start closing in. You have to be outside, and you have to be able to do it safely. And that's one of the things that I think that we can improve on.
Thank you. Roy?
Yeah, I would say I'm like Steve, this is a hard question, because I think we're doing pretty good on a lot of things. But I would, I sometimes wish that when they cut Highway 24 through Cape Carteret, they would have went around Star Hill. I think we'd have a better town, if we weren't split right in the middle by Highway 24. So I would say probably the thing that we're not doing the greatest on is just trying to figure out that conundrum we have right in the middle of our town, and how do we bridge it so that our town can be more closer together. So I would love to get on, I live on Neptune Drive, I'd love to get on my golf cart and go to Star Hill and ride around that neighborhood, or run over there, or whatever I wanted to do. It's just we have this bridge in the middle of our town that we can't get across, so maybe we can do a better job bridging that.
Thank you. David, we're going to start with you the next question. If you could only achieve one major goal for the town during your term, what would that be? And what is the first step you would take?
So I think it goes to preserving the legacy, which is it is my theme of why I'm running. Again, I've seen progress. A lot of times progress is not really good for the community. So how do you achieve that is you have a plan to what you want to do. I would go back to what General Eisenhower used to say. He would say, plans are useless, but planning is everything. So the UDO, a vision for the town, where do we want to go so we can make sure that we get there? And there are some specifics with that, but preserving who we are and what we are, because we are surrounded, and how do we preserve that?
Thank you. Roy, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, so the biggest challenge we're facing is this deluge of growth that wants to come our way. And we have I-42 that's coming our way very quickly, and it's gonna dump out in Morehead City. And if you've been around long enough, if If you knew what Wilmington looked like 30 years ago, before I-40 went through there, it was a different place. And in the future, in the very near future, I-42 is gonna come in and dump out in Morehead City, which is gonna cause this explosion of growth. And we need to, with the UDO, and if we have a plan of growth for our town, when the steamroller comes down 24, we can say, hold on, wait a minute, we got a plan. Our plan is set in stone, we're already growing how we're gonna grow, we're doing what we're gonna do here, and we're not forced into a plan somebody else might have for our property.
Thank you. Eric?
Well, they stole all mine. No, that's, but to agree with them, yes, to maintain our hometown feel, our small town feel, and smart growth. If I was to be a commissioner in 4 years, I'm done. If the only thing I did is assist with ensuring that I keep Cape Carteret the place that essentially helped bring me up to the person I am today, and bring up my family. I have 2 older kids and 2 younger kids, and our 2 older kids were essentially raised by this community as well. We did not do it on our own. So that, preserving that, holding on to that, and keeping us together.
Thank you. Jake?
A lot to say, but I'm gonna zoom in on one thing. 100% agree with Roy and Eric. It's thing that we have to, in trying to keeping this small town feel, the communities that we live in and we love, there are a lot of things that there's the UTO and all those planning that we need to look into that. But if after 4 years I need to walk, I have to walk away. If I can save you money for 4 years, it will be a great thing for me. One way we can do that is acquire a zip code for this town. Because how many of you put an order on Amazon and then you put your address on it and you're in Swansboro? And that's one of the things that that doesn't make sense. And if we think of it this way, our own zip code will equal more money for us because we have our own situation here, and also equal lower taxes.
Thank you. Steve?
Well, I've been very fortunate over the years to have set some goals and worked with some fantastic boards and achieved a lot of those goals. But my goal now is shared by a lot of people in town, is the town center concept. Somehow to get the town center concept started, getting the developers with the landowners and starting that process, I think as we speak is probably the #1 requested action that we start on, but our hands are kind of tied. All we can do is put the developers with the landowners, and whatever happens it happens. But to me, you talk about small town feel, we're always going to be a small town because we're bordered by Bow, Cedar Point, Bedford Creek, the Sound. Geographically a small town, but when you add the town center concept, I just think it brings a sense of town, for the people to enjoy. So that's my goal.
Thank you. Eric, we'll start with you. Next question. What is your vision of Cape Carteret in 4 to 5 years?
That's a good question. Cape Carteret, 4 to 5 years. I'm imagining it's probably gonna look a lot like it does today in 4 or 5, but it's in 10 years, it's gonna be a lot different. And we're gonna wish it looked like it did today. So 4 to 5 years, I would say my goal is to just make sure what's coming here is we plan out for that 10 to 15-year growth. We don't just plan for 2 or 3 years. We will have a plan set and things in place to protect what we currently have. That would be my 5-year goal, is to have 15, 20-year goal.
Thank you. Steve?
Well, I would love in 4 or 5 years to have a 24 bypass, and a mid-island bridge, but that's not gonna happen. Quite honestly, in 4 or 5 years, I'd be perfectly happy for the town to be exactly like it is today.
Thank you. Jay?
4 years, 4 or 5 years, taxes remain low. And if I could wish for, if I can envision one thing, would be that I can run or rumble or shuffle my way from Star Hill to Roy's house without having to go all the way from Star Hill to the crosswalk over at Lowe's, so I can cross over to the other neighborhood. And I'm sure a lot of people are worried about the same thing. And want to make sure that this town that you walk around and you see, like, you can recognize this time 4 years from now. Otherwise, you won't feel the same for any of us.
Thank you. David?
So, in general, I would say a solid plan for the future is what I would like to see 4 years from now. We know where we're going. But some specifics would be perhaps being a Tree City USA under Arbor Day. Why would we not do that? And enhanced borders or entrances to the town, so when you know when you come into Cape Carteret, if you don't see the sign, you know you're in Cape Carteret. Improve parks and connections between 3 different areas of the town. Improve parks. So what is that? What type of things can do? When we first moved here, the park on Holly Lane was always flooding. It was always wet there. Well, we got the town to plant 3 trees there, which are growing magnificently. It doesn't flood anymore. There's no flooding there. Improved Highway 24 crossings of some type, if we can't get a bypass, and perhaps a viable community watch program. So those are some of the specific things I would like to see in 4 years.
Thank you. Roll.
4 years, I want to see a Chick-fil-A. I think that's doable in 4 years. But yeah, 4 years is a very short time in the lifespan of a town. So in 4 years, I'm just really going to say what everybody else said. I want to see it look pretty much the same as it looks right now. And I want to see us have a pretty strong eye to the future. That'll be my goal.
Thank you. Jay, we're gonna start the next question with you. What specific action will you take to manage stormwater and ensure water quality?
Can you repeat that, please?
What specific actions will you take to manage stormwater and ensure water quality?
The first thing I would say is, one thing I learned in the military is that when you work with a team, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to know everything there is to know about the functioning of the team or the completion of the mission. This is the reason why we rely on the experts. We rely on people who know more than us. And I'm sure that whenever you go, you start somewhere, any work you go, you do, they always say, if you have a question, ask. And in resolving this issue, which is a big issue for a lot of people in this community, it's gonna take all of us. It's gonna take me, it's gonna take you, your views, it's gonna take people that knows what they're actually doing, so we can come up with a plan that not only benefit you, the residents, benefit the community in the long term, but also help us, in a way that we don't hinder ourselves in our growth and our development.
Thank you. Eric?
Well, start with surveys. Start with where we have the current issues, floodwater issues. And then work with our local municipality oh gosh, I don't know what Ryan and them, what their title is. I'm sorry, but they, oh gosh.
To say Public Works.
Public Works, thank you. I know I was looking at you, I was hoping you'd help me. It was the Public Works, so I work with Public Works, possibly to clean out ditches or whatever it may be from the fallout of the survey. As far as water quality, are we talking offshore water quality or drinking water quality? Because there's an issue on both, or on the offshore water quality for sure. We're dumping way too much fresh water into our sound right now, and we're pushing all of our marine life out. We talk about all these restrictions on fishing. Well, it's because we have all this development and we have all this runoff going into the water, so there's no clean water for them to be in. So that's an issue, and that's something that we all need to look at.
Thank you. Steve?
Just to expand on what Eric was talking about, if you're talking about the quality of the water and the sound, we a couple of years ago we did a huge dredging effort, which deepened the waterways and flushed the waters out, got rid of the sediment. As far as the water quality that we drink, it's kind of out of our control. That's with the Carteret County Water Company. But stormwater, I think, I may be corrected, but I think that the town manager has applied for a grant for stormwater mapping, and I think we have got that grant with no match, I think. But we've already made great efforts with stormwater, as I alluded to earlier. But the only thing I can think to improve that would just keep on identifying the hot spots and formulate the plan to take care of them as they come up. So, thank you.
Thank you. Roy?
Yep, I have very close experience with stormwater. If you know where I live right on the corner on Neptune Drive. When I first moved there, the road was horrible, the stormwater didn't get to the drains like it was supposed to, and now I have a lake in front of my house every time it rained. And thankfully, over time, our road got repaved, they crowned the road like it was supposed to be, they cleared out the drains, and they've got it all drained, and we don't have that problem anymore. So that's the key, it's just identifying where the stormwater's coming, where it's settling, where it's accumulating, and coming up with those plans. Road maintenance and Public Works has a lot to do with that. Now, I see the Public Works guys out in front of my house probably once every 2 weeks, cleaning the drains, weed eating around and everything, cleaning it out. So that's the key. Just individuals in their driveways and yards, water's coming to the road, are the roads properly crowned, are the roads properly paved to direct the water into the storm drains, and are the storm drains cleared out? So we can do those three things, we can do a pretty good job keeping it at bay.
Thank you. David?
Hey, fish for commission. So, what my colleague, Roy said, he's spot on. And I have to say the current board has done really yeoman's work in mitigating the problems in Cape Carteret. I live right around the corner from Mr. Fish, and there was a lake out there. You put your waders on it. It doesn't happen anymore. So the current board's actions, yes. And by the way, when you're 25, you don't really care about your drinking water, but when you're my age, you do. And we have some of the best drinking water probably of anybody around because of West Carteret water. It really is tremendous. The problems that other communities have, we don't. One of the things I intend on doing, if I'm lucky enough to represent this community, is what I learned from an old colonel. It's called LBWA, Leadership by Wandering Around and Looking at Things. So if we do have stormwater problems, find out where they are and address them as it's already been talked about.
Thank you. Steve, we'll start the next question with you. What is the biggest infrastructure issue facing our city, and how will you address it?
I would say keeping up with the paving initiatives. We rely on the Powell Bill Fund, which, in all honesty, it could end tomorrow, but keeping up with the paving has been a challenge, and I think that the the next board is gonna have to make some, budgetary changes there and enhance the paving, and I think that's huge. You know, people like to be able to look out the front door and see fresh paving. They don't wanna keep their car in the shop, get the front end lined up for hitting potholes, but Public Works has done a great job. We've, over the years, we've, bought equipment for them. They can do small paving projects, potholes, cutouts, and things of that nature. So, yeah, paving initiative and bolstering that is very important for me.
Thank you. Roy?
Yeah, paving is a huge issue. I know I have to pass by Holly Drive heading to my house, and they just repaved that road a year ago, maybe, a little less, a little more. And man, you just about needed a four-wheel drive to go down that road, for a while. So, I would echo what Steve said, keeping the roads, and it goes back to the stormwater thing. When you got potholes all over the roads and the stormwater can't get to the drains like it's supposed to, now we have a flooding problem. And now that stormwater, every time we run through a pothole, we're just making the pothole bigger. And if we could stay ahead of that and keep the roads paved and keep them right, then, you know, we solve all kinds of problems.
Thank you. David?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, what is the biggest infrastructure issue facing the city, and how will you address it?
Yeah, I think that that's probably the correct answer. If you're saying the biggest challenge, it certainly is paving. The one thing that I would look at is the long-term schedule for repaving. I don't know if it's accurate or it should be modified to support a long-term resurfacing effort for the town.
Thank you. Jay?
Yes. We all noticed recently how we've been affected by the weather, especially in, I think, was it one winter ago, 2 winters ago, we had snow. And combine that with the stormwater issues, preparing for long term is important, it's very important. We have young people who just started to drive. We have elderly population that is also driving. We have to keep the road safe for them. We have to put them in a situation where they don't have to worry about going from point A to point B. If I had to add one thing to it, I would say I would love for my daughter to work from home to school, like all the way, without having to worry about crossing lanes, pedestrian crossing. That would be a great thing to add in the future. I'm sure it would be great for kids and for adults as well.
Thank you. Eric?
Well, since everybody took the easy one, I guess parks, we have some vacant lots that the town owns as part of the infrastructure, if I'm reaching. But we would definitely need to update and add some parks for some children so they can utilize them and have a good time. The only real park we have for kids is in Cedar Point, and why is that? And Wadala's got a park every third block. So parks is a big issue and something that we should be really looking into. And I know that the current commission is looking into it. So I would just continue working that effort and getting us some parks and some walking paths, and definitely not the walking paths with the grass growing up in the pavement, but actual walking paths in the woods.
Thank you. David, we'll start with the next question. How do you feel about the four-way stop signs in the residential?
And four-way stop signs
In residential area, and were there any discussions with the residents of the town about this before they were installed? So how do you feel about the four-way stop signs in residential areas? And were there any discussions with residents before they were installed?
Yeah. So if you're doing a rolling stop, no, I don't, when I first moved here, we did not have that, specifically in old Carteret. And I do not remember discussions with the community about implementing them. I will say, my personal opinion is that they do enhance safety to slow people down. And once the initial inconvenience of stopping was gotten over I think they're a good thing. I do.
Thank you. Eric?
I don't know if they talk to the town at all. I would assume they did. I would hope they would, because transparency and accountability is what we should be aiming for. I don't live where we have the four-way stops. I can see why we would have four-way stops, because we actually put speed bumps in where we are after a child was hit by a vehicle. So, I mean, as a parent, and my wife was in the yard and watched the person hit the little girl on the bike. I mean, we can hem and haw all we want, but safety's paramount, everybody. So I would vote for it. I would vote yes. So,
Thank you. Jay?
I do have a four-way stop in my neighborhood, and I'm originally from Seattle, and I'm sure a lot of people know the memes that put out the four-way stop and was like, hey, you go, no, you go, no, you go. Spent like 15 minutes there trying to be polite. I used to live, before that, I used to live in Maryland and Silver Spring, and one of the biggest issues we had is when a lot of kids walk to school, and one of the major intersections right before the school, there is a stop coming from the residential area going across, but the kind of like the arterial part, it was just straight through. And it was a nightmare for all the parents to, when their kids walk to school. You know, are they gonna make it? Are the drivers gonna slow down or stop? Are the kids gonna look? Listen, I understand, it's two things. We can either be safe or we can either be convenient. And if you ask me, I'd rather be safe, not only for myself, for my kids. I have a neighbor who had a bypass, cardiac surgery. She can't do that thing on her own. Somebody else will help her out. And I'm one of the person who help her out, so that's why I'm for it.
Thank you. Steve?
Yeah, not many days go by, since I've been on this board, that I don't get a phone call from someone complaining about speeding in neighborhoods. Now it's, stop signs, running stop signs. So I feel like that's a safety issue that the police chief needs to address and come before the board if he feels like we don't need the four-way stop signs. But they beat a speed bump. And I think that was the initial reason to put them in. The former police chief suggested it. And to put those in, eliminated the need to put speed bumps in. So I think the police chief is one that really needs to weigh in on those safety issues there.
Thank you. Roy?
I'm gonna be the odd man out and say, I can't stand those four-way stops. What I would like to see, and I will tell you that nobody asked me before they just popped up. As a matter of fact, they popped up so quick on me. One night I'm driving home on Yopon Drive, and a Carteret police officer was coming up to the stop sign, and I went right through a stop sign right in front of him. And he pulled me over. I didn't get a ticket because because we were in a grace period because they were brand new, and I'm like, this is crazy, right? But I would like to see a study done in the 50 or so years this Cape Carteret existed as a town with no four-way stop signs, and then after, and how many people were killed at intersections before, and then how many lives have been saved after. I don't think there were too many people getting killed at intersections in old Cape Carteret because we didn't have four-way stop signs. I can't stand them, and if I can do anything about it, I will get rid of them.
Thank you.
Negative.
Eric, we'll start with your next question. What are your thoughts on the recent decline of grant funds for the walking way?
Well, from what I understood is that the funds were there to execute, but it also would entail extra money that would be a burden on the taxpayer. And so the decision was, rather than burden the taxpayer, was to just return the funds. And from my understanding of the situation, I agree with that, and I would do the same thing. Again, I don't have full understanding of it, so I would have to read up on it a little bit more, but from what I know right now is, yes, I don't wanna burden the taxpayer with anything else just for, a walking path, so yeah, I would return the funds and we would move forward.
Thank you. Roy?
I don't think it's ever a good idea to give back grant money. And again, I'm with Eric in that I'm not 100% exactly what happened and why the funds were given back. But I would like to think that the council did everything they could do to come up with a solution to spend that money before a decision was made to give it back. So that, if I'm on the council and we get grant money, we're gonna do everything we can do to spend that money before it goes back to anybody else.
Thank you. Dave?
So, you never give money back. And we had almost $1 million to connect those two areas. We were short about $230,000 over 2 years. And there's lots of ways that you can feed the admiral's cat, which does not include raising people's taxes or other mechanisms. So I don't think that it was looked at long enough or hard enough before a decision was made to return the money.
Thank you. Steve?
Well, I was one of the 4 commissioners that voted to return or deny the opt out, I guess is the proper phrase, of the grant. My reason, I can't speak for the other 3 that did, my reason was exactly what Eric was talking about. The grant was not enough to complete the trail. The grant would have, had we matched the $230,000, would have probably engineered, but I did not want to start another project like the CC Trail that took 13 to 15 years and a resolution, a referendum, on the ballot for the citizens to accept. And not to mention the estimated $1.5 to $2 million to construct the sidewalk. That's why I voted to opt out. The DOT, North Carolina DOT was very cordial about it. They said that would not interfere with any future grants. They actually said that that when we initially accepted the grant, that they could not understand how we would fulfill and build the project with that astronomical price tag. So 4 commissioners voted to opt out, and I was one of them.
Thank you. Jay?
Yes. There are always 2 sides to a story. When you come to that particular grant, as I understanding, I mean, I saw I watched the whole thing on YouTube. I mean, everybody can watch it at home or on your phone. And the commission has the team has a pretty heated argument about it. They're trying to figure it out how they can use it. And what we don't know is, like Steve said, is what conversation they had with with the people where the money was coming from, and how they can accommodate that if there is no penalty, something like that. I'd rather return it and pass on, start a new project and then raise taxes on our residents. Because one of the promises that I'm making, I'm sure a lot of you, that promise is to help keep taxes low. And this project, keeping the money is gonna, we have to start the project and then doing that, raise taxes on all of you, I'll return that money.
Thank you. Steve? Next question with you. What is your vision for pedestrian and bike connectivity for the town?
Repeat that again.
What is your vision for pedestrian and bike connectivity for the town?
Well, I think that North Carolina DOT would put crosswalks in for people to access not only the future of the town's center concept, but the Cape Carteret Trail, and it wouldn't cost the taxpayers anything. I'm of the belief that in 5 or 6 years, if super street in, that they would probably put the sidewalk from here to Bay Shore free of charge. So, but I know there's a process with the county where they have these committees that they're exploring the connectivity, bike paths and whatnot. So, but, the crosswalks free of charge put in by DOT would be what I'd be in favor of.
Thank you. Jay?
Well, that's what I've been saying the whole time. I think connectivity is very important for the two main reasons that I put out. First one is so my kids can run around and walk around, which is one of the reasons why we love this community so much. As we're trying to figure it out where we're gonna move next, and we drive around Star Hill and we saw kids running around, and I was like, my wife said, okay, that's it. That was the main reason that again after that we fell in love with the other aspect of the town. But connectivity is very important, and having, like I said, people like me who wants to be outside, who have dogs and who want to bike and accessing trails and parks and everything, or be outside for your mental health, so you can feel better after a long day and whatever. It's very important, and you cannot have a healthy community. You cannot have a connected community if you don't have this option to walk around. We don't have to drive all the time, and I'm against driving all the time. So,
Thank you. Eric?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. What is your vision for pedestrian and bike connectivity for the town?
The crosswalks is the key. Other than that, I definitely don't want to see the town, charging to put a sticker on your bike or anything like that, to be able to ride it on the path or go anywhere. Safety, probably including if you're going to be riding a bike, we'll have an ordinance that you have to have a helmet on. And yeah, just maintain safety and connectivity throughout the community. The crosswalks is going to be key for that.
Thank you. Roy?
Yeah, short term is definitely crosswalks, across 24 that are better than the ones we have now. But in the long term, I would love to be able to get on my golf cart in Old Cape Carteret and drive past Lowe's through the no-go zone right now and make my way over to Star Hill. I think that'd be great, but like Steve alluded to a few questions earlier, there are property owners that have a say in that right now, but that would be my vision for the future, that we get some sort of path at least through there to connect us a little better.
Thank you. Dave?
Yep, so the critical vulnerability that I see right now for Cape Carteret is, as everybody's mentioned, the Highway 24, the crosswalks. I walk and bicycle the path, which has been finished, on a regular basis, and it's great. And I don't see any safety or mobility concerns there. But, so the key for our town is mitigating the danger as you're crossing from one side to another on 24.
Thank you. Jay, we're going to start next question with you. What is your short and long-term vision for the town? What is your short and long-term?
That's why I'm trying to hold it while you're talking.
Oh, okay. We got a shortage. You got it?
Go ahead.
Okay. What is your short and long-term vision for town water access?
Town water access.
okay. All right. So town water access, short and long-term vision. Short term is pretty simple. That's what we just discussed. Connectivity. And listen, if I can ride my bike or get a ride with on Roy's golf cart to go all the way from here to the island or to the shore, listen, that would be great. He's right. Come summertime, when all the vacation has come around, traffic going, on and off the island, you're trying to, cross drive on 24 and then 58 is getting crazy. It's no joke. Sometime in the morning when you go to school, traffic is bad enough, you know, and that would be a great thing if you can provide more of that pedestrian option, either non-motorized vehicle like bike or scooter, whatever that is, or walk. That's a great option. And long term is provide more parks in outdoor recreation for everybody in the town.
Eric?
It's a good question. So right now, we currently have a pier that's broken, so we would need to make sure our public works has the tools and the time and the personnel to maintain currently what we have. And then the commission's already moving forward with this new boat ramp that's gonna be for the community. So making sure that when we build this boat ramp and everything's moving forward, that we have a solid plan in place. We have good contractors doing the work, and we just maintain the accesses we currently have. Maybe providing some lights out there would be nice, and yeah, doing a little Cape Carteret pinfish tournament would be a lot of fun, I think.
Thank you. David?
So I'm gonna use my Marine Corps voice, so the mayor doesn't get electrocuted. So the town really, I think the existing board has done a really good job with masterstroke, if you will, with getting the boat ramp, long-term solution. And what I would say is my long-term vision for that, I did do some thinking of that, is like anything else, you know, I've lived in this area for over 30 years. Plastic rusts here. So you pay now or pay later. So anything that we do is top of the line materials, top of the line construction, and done in an aesthetic and a good manner. So we have a world-class boat launch there, not skimping on things, that will last and will be, that is probably going to be one of the town's best attributes, is having that boat ramp.
Roy?
Yeah, short term is, we're in a great position for water access right now with the new boat ramp and the current boat ramp at Manatee until that lease runs out. So short term is, let's keep doing what we're doing. Long term is, with that new boat ramp area, there are areas in there, we have space now to put some boat lifts in there, and maybe the town can get some revenue off renting those boat ramp, or the boat lifts that we can put there with the space that we have. And this may be controversial, I don't know, I don't live on the water, but I've always wondered why a guy who lives on the water and has a boat lift behind his house has to pay for a year-long pass to use the boat ramp one time, when he might take his boat out once a year. It makes no sense to me. So long-term water access is, I don't want guys who live on the water and already pay more taxes than the rest of us because their houses cost more than ours, to have to pay the same thing I have to pay when I use the boat ramp every weekend. So we need, as a board, as a town, we need to come up with some sort of solution and say, hey, can they get a one-time pass? Or can they, because they're already paying off taxes, can they just use it once a year when they need it and don't need a pass? I think that would be a great idea for everybody who lives on the water.
Thank you. Steve?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. As far as boat lifts, Monday night, the Board of Commissioners will be voting to either or not direct the town manager to put out a RFP for a contract to put in boat lifts at the new boat ramp to generate positive revenue to offset raising taxes. So I'm proud of that. The town in the past and this current board has done a great job of enhancing access. The new ferry landing park is one, the new boat ramp is another, the kayak facility at Pettiford Creek is another, which it needs a little work. Every street going to the sound has public access for the town citizens except Live Oak Street. I don't know how we can improve any more than what we got. We should just maintain what we have, and
in a way that will outlast 15, 20 years. The dock that you mentioned, we just rebuilt that maybe 6 years ago. There was a bad batch of pylons at that time we didn't know about. We know now. So that's under repair. Town manager's taking care of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Roy, we'll start a question with you. Cape Carteret has 14 parks, but no playgrounds. What will you do to enhance recreation for children in Cape Carteret?
Yeah, just like Eric said earlier, we have properties in neighborhoods on lots that we could certainly put playgrounds on. And I would be 100% for that, absolutely. Anywhere the town has an empty spot in the middle of a neighborhood, let's put a playground on for the kids. Probably not so much in Old Cape Carteret, because I don't think there's like 3 kids that live over here. Star Hill, there's a lot more kids, so we'll do it on that side of the 24.
Thank you. David?
So I agree with Mr. Fish. Where is the best place to put it? I've heard this before. Certainly the children should have a playground. I had a playground when I was growing up, where I grew up a long time ago. You know, I always remember that. I think that's important for the children to do that. And it's also important for our town to do that.
Thank you. Steve?
Great question. I'm not going to divulge the name of the nonprofit, but we're currently with the town manager in negotiation with a nonprofit to put a park in for the playground for the kids at Fairyland Park, and one in the long-term future, or short-term future at our property that we currently own at Public Works, which, in case you don't know, there's a lot of property at Public Works the town owns that's not been cleared. So that's in the works with a nonprofit, almost guaranteed, I think. So, but let me get to, the town used to own 2 lots at Star Hill, and for years and years and years and years, we formed committees, we did everything to put a playground on those 2 lots. Never was successful. They didn't want it, so the town gifted those 2 lots to the Star Hill HOA. So just to be clear on that. So I think the town and this current board and previous boards that I've served on has done a fantastic job. Yeah, we do need a children's playground, and it's coming. And I don't think it's going to cost the taxpayer a dime. So,
Thank you. Eric?
Yeah, this is a hot button item for me. I think we have so many working families here, and we have so many children that need some place to play. So hearing that from Mr. Martin is fantastic. I think we can use that, get more nonprofits. I mean, we have a beautiful community here. We have loving people here. Everybody wants to help us. So I will push that and I'll advocate for Cape Carteret, and we will get some parks. Obviously, it's already in work though. So.
Thank you. Jay?
Oh, that's definitely important to me. I play soccer, and I have to go to Moorhead to play pickup, you know, or we have to go to Westcott, you know, to Western Park, right? And we do have lots in our neighborhood in Star Hill that could, you know, be a possible citizen. Now here's the deal: if we can have I'll do my best for definitely this. Like I said, it's one of my most important issues. If we can, you know, build a park with, you know, with sport fields on it, it's going to do 2 things. It's going to help with your the value of the properties in the neighborhood, which is going to be good for everybody, right? You get a little bit more money. And second, it will improve the quality of life in the neighborhood. That's when we're talking about the community, called the togetherness, right? The sense of community, right? If everybody bring their kids and hang out at parks, what happens? People start talking to each other, you know? Versus we're staying at home and then, you know, just on the phone and then we separate. So that's the community togetherness. That's why these issues are so important.
Thank you. That concludes the questions that were submitted. So we're going to transition to your closing statement summation for the audience. You'll have 2 minutes, and we're going to start in reverse order. We started, so Eric, will start us off.
All right, well, thanks everybody for coming out. We had some really great questions come out, and none that I was prepared for. Of course, I have a whole bunch of stuff here, but none of those questions were on there. But yeah, I guess I'll end with I have a deep respect for Mr. Martin and what he's done for our community and the current commission, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to run and serve. Is I want to keep that motion going. Yeah, we all have issues. There's always going to be something. There's a zoning issue here, or there's a stop sign issue there. But if we're not transparent and we don't communicate with the community that we're serving, then we're not doing anything. So I'm running. I'm going to be transparent. I will not cast a vote without telling you why I'm casting a vote. I'm going to put the work in. I'll do the research, and excuse me. I'll do the research. I'll walk and I'll talk to people. If it is a rezoning issue and a hot button item, I'm going to walk the street. I'm going to shake hands. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to see what your actual issue is, and I'll be your voice. I'm the voice of the people. I'm from here. I'm for here. I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I want to live. This is where I want my family to want to live. We have a daughter in California. I'm trying my damnedest to get her to move back here. So let's get a park going so she could bring that grandbaby on back, and we can have some cuddles. All right.
Thank you. David.
So thank you, all of you, for coming out and listening tonight. I am running for this position, to represent all of you. So that's why I'm doing this, and to keep this place the special place that it is. My wife and I have lived in this area for over 30 years. I can tell you that there is not enough money to get me to move back across the water to Emerald Isle. We were over there in 1995, that's when we moved there, and that place is not the place that we moved to. It was good at the time, but progress has made it a place that I don't even want to cross that bridge, I'll be honest with you. Which was shocking to me moving here. This place has great quality of life, it has great people, and my intention is to represent all of you and continue to keep it that way. I have lived in Loudoun County. I lived in Loudoun County from 1999 to 2001. At that time, it was the fastest growing county in the United States of America. And not all progress is good progress. And Loudoun County woke up and said, whoa, and they drew a line. And there was not another single building that was built past that line, because all the farmland would be gone. So I've had decades of leadership and decades of management. I was usually the XO, the executive officer, behind the scenes doing all the work. So I don't mind doing the work. Last thing I would say is that it's very important to where are we going, what are we doing, and why are we doing it? What are we doing and why are we doing it? Okay, now the one example I'll give is Pettiford Creek. I used Pettiford Creek once with my kayak. I'm pretty sure I passed Humphrey Bogart in the effort to clean it. Okay, I haven't been back since. Best of intentions, horrible. So it's very important to figure out what we need to do and do it smartly. So thanks again.
Thank you. Steve.
Yeah, I would like to thank the Carteret County Chamber and the League of Women Voters for hosting the forum tonight. And I hope my record and my platform going forward, which consists of fiscal responsibility, enhancing the public safety and all town services, as well as being proactive, addressing the infrastructure improvements that are needed, resonates with all you voters, all you citizens. Cape Carteret's a special place to live, whether you're raising a family or retired. I will continue to do everything I can as a commissioner to preserve our waterways and protect access to the natural public resource we all own and we all love. If you want to reach me or have any concerns, or you want to have a conversation about the town, my email and my phone number are on the town website. I'd be glad to talk to anybody anytime. I appreciate your time tonight, and I would be honored to continue to serve the town that I love and its citizens. Remind everybody that early voting starts October 16th, runs through November 1st at the Western Park. Election day is November 4th, and I'll be humbled to have you vote again. Thank you for attending, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Thank you. Roy?
Who is Humphrey Bogart? He might be a little too old for this. No, so if you know me, I got a lot of energy and I got a lot of love for this town, and I spent a lifetime of serving my nation, and I want to serve my local community now because this is where I am, this is where I love, and you know, I don't know how it is in your individual little neighborhoods, man, but that little block on Neptune Drive between Neptune and Holly, man, we're a family over there. Everybody on that street is family. And I love those people. I love everybody in this town. I love how we're growing. I love the way we're doing it, and I want to be a part of that. I can't complain if I'm not a part of it, but I can't take all the pride I want to take if I'm not a part of it. So I really want to be a part of making the decisions going forward for this town, keeping us the way we are, protecting us from the deluge of the world that's coming for us. And one thing I want to address in my final statement here, and I don't know where, maybe I know where it came from, but there was some rumors floating around that I'm a Democrat. I am not a Democrat. I am a registered Republican and been that way since I was 18 years old. All right, so I don't know where that came from, so let's get that out right now. I'm not. But I do love this town. I love you guys, and I'm excited. I want to do it. I have the energy, and I really want to do this for me and for you, your family, and for my family. And if you don't remember anything else tonight, remember to vote fish or commish.
Thank you. Jay?
Now listen, my promise is simple. I want to bring the community together. And by that I mean, I want to focus on practical solutions and responsible solutions. And one way we can do that is by achieving transparency. If we're working on an issue, your participation and your knowledge of that issue is very important. There is no point on us, on the commission, making decisions that's going to affect your life without you knowing what it's about. It's that simple. The community participates in its government. It's the government for you guys. You go up, you come up, you ask questions, you ask explanations, you ask detail. So when you walk away, when you walk out that door, you feel satisfied that all your concerns have been addressed. And that's one of the things that I'm also about. I want to be able to help with togetherness, with community connectivity, togetherness. Like I said, I'm big into mental health, into community, into family. My neighborhood, just like his, Warriors, it's a big family. My kids, just go sleep over to my neighbors all the time. And in my house, there's 5 of us, right? But I make dinner for 10 because all the kids shows up in my house. Come Halloween time, everybody's gonna show up. And it's not only that. I walk and hang out with my neighbors. There is a gentleman next to me. He was also had PTSD and woke up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I said, "Hey, buddy, are you there?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm here." So we talk to each other. And one of the reasons why is because we established that connectivity, that togetherness. If we grow, we have to grow together. We don't grow for ourselves, but for the community. If I may say one last thing, I want to thank the organizers, the mayor and the current commission for doing all they do, and for you guys and those who watching online for being here today. And as concerned citizens, that's how you move forward with democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all of the candidates for being here tonight, participating in this forum. But most of all, I want to thank all of you